Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chrisley opens up about tear-filled reunion with parents Todd and Julie. Chrisley has revealed details about Todd and Julie's reunion. This is something everyone has been waiting to hear about. This was the first time Todd and Julie got to speak to and see each other in 2.5 years. However, they got to reunite, and they seem to be happier than ever. Has given some more details on the interaction. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Todd and Julie Chrisley were in federal prison for 2.5 years. However, they were supposed to have a much longer time locked up. Todd was supposed to spend 12 years incarcerated. Julie was supposed to be locked up for 7. However, Donald Trump called Savannah and Grayson Chrisley yesterday and let them know that their parents were going to be coming home. The president pardoned both of them. Todd and Julie were both released last night. Savannah went to pick up her father while Grayson went to pick up their mother. They all met back at the family's home, and Todd and Julie got to see each other for the first time in years. Chrisley has revealed some details about Todd and Julie's tear-filled reunion. He was getting emotional talking about it. It was a beautiful moment. I mean, my family just do. I don't think it really hit me until they were both home, and I got to see my mom and dad hug each other and embrace each other. We were all hugging each other and crying. I can't even describe it. Like the amount of joy that I felt. I was in tears. I was in shock. I mean, I couldn't believe it. They both just burst into tears. My dad wrapped his arms around my mom, and I don't think he's let go. And I don't think he'll ever let go. The reunion was emotional for everyone who witnessed it. It seems as though Todd has not let go of Julie since they saw each other. Fans do not blame them, as this is a long time to go without seeing your significant other after being around each other all the time before. Some people agree with their pardon while others don't. However, everyone is happy for their children, Savannah, Grayson, Chloe, and Chase, as they get their parents back. What do you think about this? Are you happy for them? Sound off in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts on this situation. For months, fans of Chrisley Knows Best have watched the Chrisley family navigate heartbreak, resilience, and an ever-changing reality. But this week, Chrisley, the charismatic and often comedic middle sibling, gave the world something different: vulnerability. In a candid interview that left both the interviewer and audience teary-eyed, opened up about his emotional reunion with his parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, who are currently serving prison sentences in separate federal facilities. "It was the hardest hug I've ever had to give," began, his voice cracking ever so slightly, "but also the most meaningful." For those who have followed the Chrisley family saga, from reality TV stardom to courtroom headlines, the separation of the family has been especially jarring. Todd and Julie, once the anchors of a seemingly perfect Southern family, are serving time for tax evasion and fraud. The fallout has left their children, including Chase, struggling to fill the emotional void while continuing to live their lives under public scrutiny. But Chase's recent visit with his parents wasn't just a check-in. It was a reunion rooted in forgiveness, reflection, and yes, a flood of tears. It was like time froze. When I walked into that visitation room and saw Dad, he looked older, but his eyes were the same, Chase recalled. It was like time froze. For a second, it was just me and him, like we were back at home, just sitting on the porch talking about life. The visit, which took place at the Pensacola Federal Prison Camp, where Todd is serving his sentence, marked the first time Chase had seen his father in several months. Although they've been in touch through letters and occasional monitored phone calls, the face-to-face reunion was powerful. "We didn't even talk at first," Chase said. "We just hugged. and neither of us let go. I think we both needed that more than we realized. Chase admitted he had wrestled with anger, confusion, and sorrow over the past year. There were moments when I just didn't know what to think anymore. About family, about the future, about them. But the minute I saw Dad, it was like all that melted away. I remembered who he really is, the man who raised me, taught me to stand up for what's right, and always made me laugh, even when things were dark. Reconnecting with Mom. A few days after visiting Todd, Chase made the trip to the Lexington Federal Medical Center, where Julie is incarcerated. Describing his mom as radiant even in a jumpsuit, Chase's voice softened. "She smiled at me like I was still her little boy," he said. And I just broke down. I couldn't keep it together. We sat across from each other, and we cried like we hadn't cried in years. Julie, ever the nurturer in the Chrisley clan, reportedly comforted her son even as tears rolled down her own cheeks. She told me she was proud of me, that she knew this has been hard on all of us, but that she believed in me to carry the family through. The visit wasn't without its emotional landmines. Chase acknowledged moments of silence where neither knew what to say. There's only so many ways to say, "I miss you," before it becomes too much to bear. But sometimes just being there, just looking into her eyes, was enough. Healing one step at a time. Chase emphasized that these reunions weren't just about seeing his parents. They were about healing. "We all made mistakes," he said, without specifying legal details. "But we're still a family. And family doesn't give up on each other." Since their sentencing, Chase has taken on more responsibility both personally and professionally. He's been supporting his siblings, especially younger sister Savannah, who has been vocal about taking on a parental role for their younger brother Grayson and niece Chloe. "I'm not perfect," Chase admitted, "but I've grown up fast this past year. I had to." Part of that growth has been about understanding forgiveness, not just toward his parents, but toward himself. "There were days I felt like I should have done more, been more present, asked more questions. But sitting with them reminded me that we all did the best we could at the time." A message to fans. Chase's openness comes with a heartfelt message to the family's loyal supporters. "We see your messages, your prayers, your love. It means the world. You stuck by us through the worst, and I just want you to know, we feel that." He also acknowledged the criticism the family has faced. "I get it. People have opinions. But at the end of the day, we're human. We mess up. We learn. And if we're lucky, we get to rebuild." Looking ahead. So what comes next for Chase Chrisley? "I'm working on myself," he said simply. "Trying to be the man my parents can be proud of, even from where they are. And I want to tell our story not because it's perfect, but because it's real."